What's happening? Andy here. I am joined today by two friends from MyQ. How are you, Eric? How are you, Victor?
Great, Andy. How are you?
I am great. What's happening? We are here to talk about a new hire for MyQ. We have Victor here, who is not actually here. You are in Prague. And Eric, you are, as you told me before we signed on, you are the new guy. You're down in North Carolina. Just wanted to kind of touch base. Victor, I'll let you do the honors. Give us the overview. Who is MyQ? Just
Okay.
What do you guys do?
Okay. So I believe that maybe all of your listeners probably know that MyQ is developing a print management software. We've been around for a long time. As you can see on my T-shirt, number 30. So we recently celebrated 30 years in the print industry. It's not tied to the entire company. It's tied more to our founders. Because Martin's father had a distribution company here in Czech Republic. And then he just get in touch with his old classmates from high school, and they started to develop what now we call MyQ. So MyQ as a company is around for 15 years. But maybe I can start with saying what's new at MyQ, because
let's move right into that and talk about, so you guys are print management, cloud print, software solutions. You work with a lot of dealers over here. You're very well entrenched with Kyocera dealers. I know you're expanding your reach. I believe we'll be seeing you at an upcoming dealer event in April. Is that true?
It is true.
Yes. Okay. I didn't want to, so we'll get to that too. So let's go get into what's new at MyQ, and then we're going to move on to Eric.
Okay, perfect. So there's something new at MyQ every day. There's always something going on. Sometimes to the point where it's almost impossible to keep up with everything. But I'll try to highlight a few points that may be of interest to your listeners. So recently, I read a book about corporate growth and how to properly initiate and manage corporate success. And I thought I would find some magic formulas and tactics and strategies in there that I would be able to implement in our corporate processes. However, in the first 100 pages, the same word was repeated again and again, and the word was people. And at first, it didn't seem very important to me because I was still trying to find those strategies and tactics. But then when I finished the book, I thought about it and I asked myself, when I was still a professional ice hockey player, what was the first thing I did before each new season? I made a list of the people I was playing with on that team and a list of people I wanted on that team. So we started to contact those I wanted. And once the team was built, I gave everyone specific roles and objectives that they would be responsible for. And why? Because the priority, in my opinion, shouldn't really be to create a strategy or some final objective that we would want to achieve as a team. The priority is finding the right team, right? And once you have the right people around you, then you can always figure out how to achieve success. But without the right people, you can make up whatever goals you want, but you will never be able to achieve them because you'll be working with people who are holding you back or who are directly sabotaging your work. But building a team like that is a hard thing to do because you can't look for the best of the best in sport. You need to find people who stand out in different ways. So you need a striker, you need a defender, you need a playmaker, you need someone who will play tough so that it all fits together. And in my opinion, the same goes for work environment. That's why I mentioned on our last podcast that my goal is to build the right team. And that's why I brought Eric today, because Eric is an industry veteran who brings not only knowledge and long-term professional relationships, but more importantly, his personality, which is a great fit for our team. Furthermore, we will be also hiring a pre-sales manager by the end of this week, and we have 7 more people waiting to be interviewed. So we are really expanding our team in the US. And in addition to the team expansion, your listeners might be also interested to know that we started providing Premium Plus support, which includes 24/7 support. So for some dealers, this can be a very attractive offer, but for some dealers, it can also be a necessity, as in some projects or cases, you simply need 24/7 support or you cannot win. And the last thing I'll mention is that with the addition of a pre-sales manager, we gain tremendous experience that can be used when offering professional services. We have had these services in our portfolio for a long time, but with this person on board, I can say that we are taking it to a whole new level. And I really hope that our partners will be happy with that, as they will not only get the right support, but also another opportunity to monetize certain services. So this is what's new at MyQ.
Well, 24/7 support, that's very exciting, especially when you're running on a global clock, right? So that's amazing. Most customers don't need that, but for the very few that do, they need it, and they're clearly, they're willing to pay a premium for that. So that's a really nice addition. So I guess now we introduce Eric. Are you Eric Langlois? Are you the one who's going to be sitting up 24/7, 365 days a week answering those calls? Or tell us about yourself and what your role is. Welcome to MyQ. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Now, I won't be the man manning the phones, but I think everybody on every team is in sales. So when push comes down to shove, we'll all be pulling the weight and supporting our customers. So I believe that you wanted to know a little bit more about my background and how I fit into this team. So I'll start there. It's a fairly simple story. When I left the military up in Canada, I literally picked up the phone book, dialed C for Calgary Copiers, got myself an interview, luckily, got the job and started selling photocopiers at the time that they were analog in a zip code, actually a postal code.
Me too.
Yeah, so a lot of us have that story, right? It's kind of a fun bonding effort, if you will, of looking at who's been where and how you learn. A lot of people going through the Xerox sales schools and whatnot. So
yeah, nothing is more educating than getting thrown out of a few buildings, right?
it keeps you humble, that's for darn sure. So that same point, Calgary Copier became it was an Alco branch. It became Icon. I think a lot of us are familiar with that brand.
That was me.
Yeah. And that branding, right? And became Rico. The rest of that story.
Yep.
But what I noticed about that time was what was interesting. I never touched a computer until the point that I got into sales, selling photocopiers. And at the time, they're analog, as you know. Some of them were digital on the color side, but that was CMYK. It's a whole other science to that. So I noticed a trend. I paid attention to what was going on there. So I started educating myself on computers. I also had a background of processing photography as a hobby in the military. So I understood the science of color. So I was able to make that jump once I started learning the language of IT, if you will, and learning the language of CMYK. So from there, I went to manage some national programs for different companies in Western Canada, managed some IT leasing companies and portfolios at Compaq, now HP. I moved on to companies that we all know, like EFI, like ESP, like X-Rite. Finally, Nuance, which is more relevant to my role now. And also 2 years at Digitech Systems in the cloud space, which is a phenomenal company with a great story to tell also in the cloud. But all those things taught me a lot. And some of those intangibles, as Victor was talking about, are some of the things that made this attractive to me: the quality of the people, the technology. I was impressed that MyQX became, a whole other product built from the ground up in MyQ Roger for the cloud at the time that we needed the cloud and work from home when COVID hit. So that was impressive to me. So I came over here to apply all those experiences to both the technology and the team, and to grow partnerships from a revenue and from a trust perspective, just growing with partners, as well as managing the team from a GM capacity, if you will.
Well, welcome. It's clearly another great investment to our market made by MyQ, and it's exciting to hear you're going to bring some more people on to help you with that. So moving on, what are we going to do going forward? Where are we going to see Eric and his team? Victor, why don't you talk about activities? What do you guys have coming up that maybe in the US and maybe even not in the US? What's coming up for MyQ?
Okay. So here I would probably mention 3 things. In particular, we would like to focus on our visibility in the US market, our approach to the partners in our portfolio, and the way how we would like to realize our corporate mission, which is to respect people. That's from behind. I cannot show you the t-shirts. I would be standing up. I don't want to do that.
We've had great pictures of those shirts. Everybody at your conference earlier this year had those. You guys weren't even, I don't even think either of you were working there yet. but earlier in the late last year, you had a great kickoff to celebrate the 30 years, and the whole company was wearing those shirts. It was really, it was quite impressive.
Yeah, so maybe let me explain it a bit more. Visibility and our approach to partners have one thing in common, so I will explain them together. In this day and age, which is very progressive, we are constantly trying to come up with new methods to achieve success. And I'm referring especially to the younger generations who are currently gaining positions with decision-making powers. However, we here at MyQ recognize that previous generations achieved success not by a chance, but through proven methods. And that's why I would like to go back to the approach that was perfectly normal for the older generations, right? So because they just got up, went to the field and worked hard when it was needed, instead of being afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone. So we've created a plan full of new activities that we are going to be doing this year. The most important of which is attending conferences and similar types of events where we will be able to meet new people face to face, which is really important for us, build new relationships, and therefore improve our approach to partners a little bit. Because we want to be as close to them as possible and give them the best support we can. As for the third point, which is the way how we would like to realize our corporate mission, which is to respect people, as I said, that's a bit more complicated. And you know that the goal a few years back was to develop a product that was limiting people. We were developing something that created rules and that helped companies to reduce costs and save money. The product is still extremely important. However, the people or the users of our products are much more important to us. But users don't like to be limited or told what they can and cannot do, right? That's why we started developing our products with a slightly different vision. We no longer want to limit them, but we want to respect them. We want to respect their needs and wants and interests. But besides realizing our mission through adding features to our products, I would like to realize it in another way, which is to give something back to the community. Helping people around us is, in my opinion, the ultimate goal that every company should set for itself. And that's exactly what we want to do at MyQ America. However, I would like to leave this topic open and perhaps ask your listeners to reach out to us if they have any experience with contributing to charities, or if they have a charitable organization themselves that we can help, because that would make me very happy. So these three things are our priority at this moment.
Well, that's awesome here. The charitable organization, I'm sure you have, there will be no shortage of companies that you can help. I can tell you that most, if not all, of the dealers that listen to this podcast, they are all very involved, many involved and contribute to charities that we've done over the years. The Ride for Jillian is a big one in our world. The Canada dinner every year is perhaps one of the biggest as well, $2+ million. And then every dealer on top of contributing to those has their own local charities that they support. So it's just one of the things that's always really impressed me about this industry is the way they give back, and how important they think that is to help in the communities. As far as where will we see you coming up next month, you have, I'll let you say it. Where are you going to be next month?
We will be in Las Vegas attending Sharp conference.
So this is going to be your first Sharp US conference. It's a great one. Eric, are you going to be there?
I will. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a minute since I've been there.
Well, welcome back to the industry. You're gonna, lucky for you, you're probably gonna get there to quite a bit more than you want to, but it's, it's a great place. It's a central place, easy to get to, and for the bigger conferences, it's still one of the places that they do a lot of these shows. So Sharp is coming back. It's going to be at a great hotel, and you made a big splash last year at your dealer meeting. Neither of you guys were working there yet. But you had a huge team from come out from the Czech Republic, from Prague. You also had some local people here as well. So, and you had a great spot front and center in that product fair. So hopefully you'll make a big splash when you come over here as well. Eric, I didn't want to walk away too quickly from it, but I did want to touch on one of the things, when you came to MyQ, you had a wealth of experience, the military, and thank you for your service, by the way. And then obviously jumping right into the copier industry, you were kind of, a lifer at that point, I guess. It was only a matter of time till a lot of us come back to it. What was it about MyQ? You mentioned a few things, but there's a lot of hiring going on out there, and your background, you probably had a few options. So what was it about MyQ that you really liked?
I kind of touched on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
thanks for asking. I'll kind of dive into it a little bit more. I'll give you the straight goods. The people, the technology is the simple answer. How do you quantify that? So when I was military, I went to infantry. It's just what was available at the time. Then joined special forces. Why? Because I wanted to challenge myself, see if I could do it. So I became a paratrooper. Although to this day, I'm still afraid of heights. There you go. I said it on a podcast. That's fully honest. I still don't like it, but I did it because I wanted to convince myself that I could do things that were seemingly beyond my reach or my reality. So why this? I've seen it a couple of places where people really want to be part of the best. Victor touched on it with his hockey experience. I play hockey to this day, and I still see it. I like the team sport. I really like contributing to the team sport, but how do you measure effort? We all measure results in this business, especially how much hardware, software revenue have you sold? Clear, tangible, 1 or 0, done. But how do you measure effort or the willingness to win? How do you measure a person's effort? Are they at 100% or is the team at 100%? Those things are really intangible. It goes to fly by feel. So as I went through the process of the interview and met with the team, I was impressed with the quality of people and I was impressed with the mindset. And I've only seen it a couple of times. I won't mention the companies, but those companies did extremely well because beyond the capacity, beyond the resources, there was this willingness to win, this effort that was in place. And it comes down to, I don't need the glory. I can make a pass and celebrate the goal from my team. And that's what I'm seeing here.
That's very cool. It is a very team-oriented effort. I mean, especially the way these dealerships operate. You have sales, you have service, you have specialists, you have training, both internal from the vendors and then from companies like you. So, it is a team. And it's interesting. Feeling a bit inadequate here. Special forces, professional hockey player, and then guy who didn't study hard enough in college. Right? So,
we're all being honest, Andy. That's fine.
Yeah, but you all wound up in the same place as I did, so I don't know. Maybe
Exactly.
You're pulling me up or I'm dragging you down. We're kind of coming to the end of this, but I do want to switch gears and talk to you, Victor, about some stuff you mentioned last time. I wanted to get a bit of an update. You had a print sharing initiative that we were talking about in the last interview, and it was just sort of announced at that point, and now you've had a couple months to see how it's going, roll it out, get some people using it, dealers, end users. Can you give us an update on that, or is it too early?
No, I can absolutely. Print sharing is something I cannot stop thinking about, Andy. I see a great future in it, and I can't wait to see it launched for the global market. However, before we start offering it to dealers, we wanted to make sure that we give them the best product they have ever seen, which is why we are still monitoring our product in a couple of pilot projects we started a few months back. I believe it was at that moment when we were making the podcast. And we currently have a project in a co-working environment, a national library here in Prague, and the Academy of Fine Arts. And I was really nervous before they started using our technology because I had no idea how they would react to it and if it would really help them as much as we expected. However, when I went to the meetings at these locations to see if they were satisfied with it, all of my fear was lifted. People just love it. And for example, yeah. For example, the owner of the co-working space sends me a message every week and thanks me for providing them with our product, MyQ Roger, because now he doesn't have to worry about the IT infrastructure. He doesn't have to work there as IT admin anymore. He doesn't have to set up the print solution. He doesn't have to worry about signing up new users, etc. Because MyQ Roger is a public cloud product that requires no IT infrastructure. And most importantly, it's so intuitive that the users can actually set everything up themselves. As for the Academy of Fine Arts here in Czech Republic, there again, they can't believe that the students had such a need to print. Before, the only way they were offered printing was by going to the library and asking someone to print a few documents for them. These documents had to be emailed to the person, and only then
Very
they were
disruptive,
printed, right?
Very disruptive.
Yeah, and now they have a publicly accessible printer there, and everyone has the MyQ Roger app on their phone, so anyone can walk up to the printer and print anything themselves at any time.
And there's a
When the
chargeback
teachers-
involved, right? So there's a billing solution. It's all tied in, and just I love that
Exactly.
being able to take it from the phone, because obviously laptop in a school environment, that's the automatic, right? And that's expected. But when you start getting to mobile phones and also tablets, because the tablet prints like a phone, it doesn't print, right? It doesn't print like a computer. I have to imagine in a school environment, printing from mobile devices has to be a huge lift for
Exactly.
any school system.
I would also say it will be a necessity, because how the times change and how we progress, it's a necessity already. Everyone has phones, so why not to use it, especially in a place like a school or university. So I'm really happy for the way how we test this product, because at first we wanted to use it as a way to help the students. But when the teachers at that school saw that, they of course started using it as well. And they are already asking us how much the product will cost, because they want to buy it right away. So we are really excited about how this product is now being tested. And your listeners are probably wondering when they can purchase it. And so the last thing I'm going to say before we finish the podcast, the plan is to launch print sharing in the second half of this year. And in addition to our partners being able to offer this original product, which can differentiate them from their competition, we've also set a very affordable price that will be attractive not only to them, but also to their customers.
Well, that's awesome. Are you going to be giving a sneak preview at the Sharp dealer meeting? Will people be able to see it, or will it not be there at that time?
Not at the Sharp meeting, but you can expect some preview in the next. I would say
we'll do a demo or something on here, maybe.
Definitely, yes.
Awesome. So this is great. Are you coming over with a team again for the meeting at Sharp, or is this just going to be a strictly US team led meeting?
I will be there. Robert will be there as well. Our plan is that we will invite, of course, Eric and the new pre-sales manager to Prague, so that they can see our headquarters, so that they can meet the people here and stuff like that. And then I would say me and Robert, we would move to the US in the next 3 or 4 weeks. We will go to Florida to see our branch members there, spend some time with them. And then we will move, then we will go to the Sharp conference. And after the Sharp conference, we will stay in North Carolina.
Well, excellent. Good. I look forward to having you guys over here. Maybe we can connect while you're down here, but this has been absolutely great. We're coming up on our time now, and I do appreciate you guys, going through everything and explaining the updates, and very excited to see you spreading out and getting into some more of these different brands. It was nice that you were focused on the ones that you were, but to see it kind of spider webbing out, that just brings this product to more customers, more end users, more dealers. So, and Eric, welcome aboard. If there's anything I can do, anything I can help you guys with, let me know. And I look forward to seeing both of you guys, actually meeting both of you guys in Las Vegas.
Look forward to it.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks so
Andy.
much. This has been absolutely awesome, and we will see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us, Andy.
Have a great one.